It says we're live. Now, is there an echo at all? I wonder.
I don't hear anything, at least on my end.
Me either. That's usually a good sign.
Yeah, I do hear people yelling outside of my house, but that's besides the point. What's going on?
Well, I don't know if anybody's watching right now, but welcome. So this is something we do sometimes where both of us are very horror themed, and it's fun to take a break from that. And we both love lots of different, themed movies, but something we both have in common is I hate using the term chick flicks because it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love shit like that. So that's what we do here.
Yes,
Oh, someone's
besides
already saying
horror,
hi to
this
you.
is like my favorite genre besides horror is like rom-com, chick flick. Like that is my shit. This Easy A. So Clueless was my number one non-favorite horror movie for a long time.
Hmm.
But it's just like I feel like I reach for Easy A lot more. And this was like my favorite movie when it came out. Like I watched this so many times I could like recite the words. And then after I got the Blu-ray again, I was like, oh my god, because I hadn't seen it in so long. This is my favorite non-horror movie. Clueless is now number two. Easy A
It's
is
so
number
good.
one.
How can it not be? It what it does is it moves your emotions, and whether you're a man or a woman or a child or an adult, if you're a human being, most people like their emotions moved. So it's
Mm-hmm.
such a good film for that. I feel like the
Yeah, and
shirt
there's
makes me look
like
really
so much.
baggy.
It's like trying to fit in where you don't belong, and then all these stories coming out and like rumors about yourself that you're hearing that aren't true.
And
And
she
Emma
handles it
Stone is
so
just
well.
great. So, what's there not to love about this movie?
Oh, I don't know. Probably nothing. If anybody ever hears an audio lag, please let me know, because then I can pop in my headphones or something like that. Maybe we can get it taken care of. If we can't, then damn, I don't know.
I don't know how to work this shit.
I
I'm
just
just
use the
here.
websites, people.
Literally, I just show up, have a good time, and leave.
Um, Hi there, hi guys, how's it going? So yes, if ever you are watching along, that would be awesome. I don't have it started yet. I just have it um on my TV, like playing on the menu and stuff. So
Same.
I've got to open up a window really quick, actually. It's like getting really hot in here.
Go
So
ahead.
keep everybody entertained for a second.
Um. Okay. How was everyone's day? Almost Friday. Friday. I hate when people say that. But it's
Friday
almost
the
Friday.
13th. Friday the 13th tomorrow. There's only going to be two this year.
And we're starting it off with a bang right in
Hmm.
January. What's the other month? Do you know?
October, Friday the 13th. Isn't that fucking perfect?
Yes. Oh my god,
Yes.
this happened like a few years ago, probably like 2 or 3 years ago. There was a Friday 13th in October, and it was a full moon, and I got a tattoo that day.
Oh
I was
my
like, oh my
goodness.
god.
I should. Dude, I have to get a tattoo that day. I've never had one. I've always wanted one. I've gone to get one a couple times. It's just never worked out.
Both of my tattoos are Friday the 13th. Like we went on Friday 13th tattoos, so they're both like creepy little, you know, tattoos, but they're small and I love them. They're cute.
Yes. So Good Real is saying that they started to watch it but wasn't feeling good. Are you talking about Easy A? Are you sleeping on Miss Stone?
Sleeping on one of the best movies of all time.
Um, the first thing I ever saw her in was Zombieland, and then I saw this, and I was obsessed. And I was like, I've got to find more movies with her. And I looked her up one day and saw that she was in House Bunny, and I was like, I've seen that 100 times. There ain't no damn way she's in House Bunny. And once I knew who she was, I was like, what?
Which that's another movie that we watched together.
We did,
Was
yes.
House Bunny, which I love. So I think House Bunny was the first thing I ever saw her in because I saw that movie when I was really young. And I
Mm-hmm.
just never really like thought about anything. And then I saw Zombieland and I loved her in Zombieland. And
Yes.
then this movie came out and I watched it nonstop. So I love Emma Stone. I haven't seen everything she's in, but those three
Me either, but
movies,
what I
love
have,
her.
it's so good. Did you see the Spider-Man movies?
I saw the first one. I didn't watch the second one because I know what happens. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to watch that happen.
Destiny,
But
I
I
did
did see the
not
first
know
one.
those things whenever I was growing up. So in 2012, I was like, oh my God, I was in love with them. Listen, I had a crush on Andrew and Emma.
Same.
And so when the second one came out and what happens it plays out, I literally almost threw up in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was like,
No, that's not true, right?
they're
Please?
lying to me. This is a
You're
lie.
lying. Where's she at? So
She
I still
moves.
haven't watched the second
I
one.
can't believe she moves away so suddenly.
Come back, please.
Yeah,
Move back,
you can come back if you want to.
please. But I did see the first one in theaters. The first
Okay,
Amazing
the second
Spider-Man.
one is probably better. I love Andrew Garfield's my favorite Spider-Man, and the second Spider-Man movie of his is the best one in the franchise, I think. Everybody tells me that I'm insane now. I have not seen the Spider-Verse movies though, or the newest one where all of them
No
are
Way
in it.
Home.
Yes.
I did see that one in theaters. Unfortunately, which I know they were like, there's speculations going around that, all three of them would be in it, but still wasn't confirmed, even though we're like, okay, yeah, like, come on, they're going to be in it. And then some fucking asshole posted pictures of both of them
Oh yeah,
on
I remember
Facebook.
that.
I was pissed. I commented. I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I unfriended him. So I did know it was gonna happen, but it was still so exciting to see and like all the crowd and like that was my first. Well, I saw Ant-Man in theaters, but
I've
that
not seen
wasn't.
that.
It wasn't like a jam-packed
I'm
house. This
here and there
was.
with the superhero movies. It depends on how it happens. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't keep up with them, but I have seen like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm like, okay, but it was really good. I loved it when I was watching it, but I don't think I'm the kind of person that would like go seek out and be like, I've got to go see Thor. But
No.
like, if it was on it somewhere, I'll probably fucking watch it and like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Iron Man, most of Iron Man 2, Ant-Man, and then No Way Home, and then The Amazing Spider-Man, and then obviously like the Raimi trilogy. I watched those growing up.
Oh, me too. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. The third
Yeah.
one was always my favorite though. And I know people hate the third one, but I love the third one because it has Topher Grace from that 70s show. So I love the third one.
I'm watching that for the first time ever in my life right now.
Really?
I saw that the 90s show was coming out and I thought, you know what? I've only ever seen that in passing and like watched it at a friend's house one time. I should watch the whole show. And so I'm watching. I mean, I'm on episode like 5 right now of the first season. None of that has to do with Easy A.
Bob's Burgers and that 70s show, those are my two favorite shows. I've seen both of those shows, especially that 70s show because I grew up watching that. I've seen that 70s show like so many times, and I bought the Blu-ray set so I can have all of them because I used to watch it every day on Netflix, and then
I
they
love
fucking took
physical
it off.
media.
Me too. It's so nice because like I always trusted Netflix, and then they took it off, and then I didn't watch it for like a year. Finally, I was like, why? I just need to fucking buy it. Like, why don't I just buy
I
it?
hate when they take. Also, whenever I was growing up, my aunt Shannon was telling me a story about when she was in college and she had just moved out of her parents' house and didn't, this is like 2009, nobody had fucking Wi-Fi like that in
Mm-hmm.
Ohio. And even if you did, it was like slow and shitty and it was like dial up and it barely worked.
Yeah.
So there was times whenever she's like, I literally didn't go insane because I had the entire complete series box set of Friends, and I just had it on a loop all day long just so that I didn't feel alone. Like,
That's me with that 70s show. That's how I would, because I would watch it, like DVR it on like, like Dish and like DirecTV. And I would bawl my eyes out of the finale. And then the first episode would come back on, the very first episode. So I'd be crying and then rewatch it from the very beginning and just like dry my face. Listen, that 70s show, love it. The last
so
two
are you excited to
seasons,
see them coming back? Because technically
yes.
it's not a finale anymore if they return.
Which I like because with the finale, you really don't know what's happening with some of the characters. It kind of leaves it ambiguous, and so you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of piece together. But then obviously with the new show, it answers things, which makes me happy because the last two seasons are not good. I'm just gonna say that. It gets so disappointing. And as a
Sometimes that
kid,
happens.
when you watch something as a kid and you watch it because you love it, but you're like, something just feels so weird. And as I've gotten older, I've just realized it's not good. The last two seasons aren't good. Now I can finally accept that. So I'll skip the last two seasons up until the finale. I still think the finale is so good.
Oh,
It
really? I
makes me
love
cry
Kitty
every
already.
time.
Kitty Foreman is fucking great.
I love her so
Um,
much.
so Goodreal said, I'll watch Easy A when you watch the second Spider-Man. Well, you know what? We're about to watch Easy A right now, so if you watch it now with us, maybe she'll watch the thing later.
A good, fun rom-com, a movie I know I will cry.
Okay, so this is just like the DVD I've had like my whole life ever since it came out. Amanda Bynes, Allison Mashaka. Oh my goodness, this movie is so good. I don't understand. We should get into watching it here soon.
Yes, we should.
Is there anything that you and us? Oh my gosh, do you have a different cover than me? Bitch,
Same
what?
cover, just
Oh,
Blu-ray.
oh, you were holding the back?
Yes,
Oh, okay, okay.
iconic.
So I was about to be like, girl.
I wish. No, just this one.
Do you know what is like a perfect mix of these type of movies and horror? Is stuff like Jawbreaker, Heathers, and Scream Queens. All
I
three of those things.
love Jawbreaker.
Let's watch that too.
I need to buy it. Why don't I own it? Don't fucking know. I will order it and then we will watch it because I fucking love Jawbreaker.
I had the VHS of this whenever I was younger, and the actual tape was white and it was splattered with different colors to look like the Jawbreaker.
That is amazing.
I
My
studied under the guy
stepmom,
who filmed it and directed it at my film school.
that's so cool. My stepmom let us watch it way too young.
I
I didn't understand most of it, but I was like, I love this. It's so good. And that's a movie. I ask everyone at work, I'm like, have you seen Jawbreaker? And no one has seen it. I was like, how have you not seen it? Like the cast is so good. And it's just such a fun, good movie. And I do love Heathers as well. Heathers is really good too.
Oh yeah.
Which I do own that one though. I do have Heathers.
Yes, of course. You know what's funny is somewhere on my oh my gosh, on the front of this, on the front of my Heathers DVD, it says, without Heathers there would be no Jawbreaker or Mean Girls. And on the Jawbreaker DVD it says the best teen movie since Heathers. And it's like, that's funny because it's not like they're working with each other, so it's like all of society but must just know that they go together.
It is true though. Without those movies, there's a lot of stuff that in the 2000s we would not have gotten.
Shut up. Hasn't seen Jawbreaker or Heathers. I think that those two movies are very good if ever you're trying to introduce somebody into the concept of horror. Especially, I hate how this sounds, but like if you have a girlfriend and she's like not into horror, those two movies are a really good way to like slowly introduce someone to that.
Yeah, because like the horror is like barely even there. They're both just more
So
about like murdering. That's really it.
apparently they're prepping for a stream that they have to do. So I don't know if that's tonight. If it is, I hope it's awesome.
Yeah. Just watch Easy A at some point.
Yes, of course. So Brandon says, whenever I was growing up, Napoleon Dynamite and Superbad were my teen movies. Emma Stone is in Superbad, is she not?
I think so. I haven't seen Superbad in so long.
Jonah Hill like headbutts her and she's like, and she like, I think, please, I think so. I'm about 100% sure.
I haven't seen that movie in so freaking long. It's been probably since around the time it came out.
SUP, Superbad. So yes, if ever we should start playing this because then that's what we should do. Yes, Superbad was her first film. She plays Jules. Okay, perfect. Okay, you guys were a lot faster than pulling up Google. So that's cool. All right. Do you have your menu pulled up?
Yes, I do.
I'm ready to play if ever you are.
I am ready.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Yay! All right, let's hope that it starts at the same time. Oh, so I got a PG-13.
Yes.
PG-13? This is a little bit, I don't know. It's not that bad of a movie.
No. The what they talk about is definitely more rated R, but I guess because we don't ever see anything because there isn't anything, So I guess that makes sense.
It's just very provocative. It's very, and just like The part with the teacher where she's like, shit, fuck, goddamn, that messed up really shit, goddamn bad.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I love this, but, like, I don't think you're supposed to cuss in front of me.
Did you ever have a teacher like that?
I had a teacher, let's see. Yeah. Wouldn't cuss that much, but I definitely had some teachers that would cuss. And I had a teacher that would just say shit. And I was like, whoa, guy, you're a teacher. But also, he is leaving, so he didn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I was just like, respect, honestly.
Do you hear the song playing? I actually always thought that this was such a great song to start the film off with. I don't know it outside of this film. It's so iconic to me hearing this song start up and then knowing you have to watch this film. Da, 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 da. So where are you at? Right now it says Amanda Bynes on my floor. Like
Amanda Bynes.
Dan Bird.
You know, it's a movie I just watched, I think last year for the first time. And it has Amanda Bynes. Sydney White. Have you ever seen Sydney White?
Yeah, when I was younger, along with like She's the Man and a couple of other things she's in.
I love She's the Man. That movie is so fucking funny.
She was in a lot of stuff when she was younger.
Yeah.
But there was something else.
She's the Man, Sydney White, this movie.
I know she was in What I Like About You.
Which I loved watching that too.
And Big
I always
Fat
wanted an older
Liar.
sister,
Is that
but
her with Frankie Muniz?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my god! He literally just said it right as I said it.
Big Fat Liar, yes.
Yep. Oh my god, Olive Pendergast. Okay, so this is my partner's favorite film in the entire world. At community college.
I also love the way the movie is told because this is all like after everything has happened, but she's telling her story and then we're seeing it as it plays out with her like little notes. Her notes are almost like little title cards for like each sequence that happens.
It was scene beat, yeah.
Yeah, and I love that.
It's definitely its own thing, and it's so perfect. It can't be duplicated. Like, I've not seen anything like this since this movie.
Yeah. Get the horns.
Any other weird things you can, you know. I love her little giggle. You know.
I remember watching House Bunny with my like aunt and uncle, and I did something like I looked at her and I did this, and she's like, "Oh my god, you just reminded me so much of Emma Stone." I was like, "Please stop, stop!" Like, I'm blushing. Don't say it again. Come on.
Oh my goodness. That part where he's like snapping that student's cigarettes and he goes, you know, cigarettes lead to mismatched tires on your vehicle, which is just ugly. And it's like, what?
What does
That's
that
why
even
this
mean?
is so funny. He says, okay, I had a huge crush on Allison Machaka whenever I was a kid. Oh my god, yeah, the movie Cowbells with her and her sister. I always thought that AJ was the cute one. So before I realized that I was where I was in my life,
Ding.
I thought AJ was the cute one. I had the crush on her.
Oh my god, they're fucking her parents.
Hey, this guy. We like this guy. He knows you. He pesters you a little bit, doesn't he?
A little bit. Just a smidge. The fucking bong. And her tit.
The boob in her face. I didn't get this whenever I was younger. I've lived out here in California now for 7 years. That is real. This is the realest thing. That is the most accurate. That's honestly, that's actually PG-13. That's very toned down.
You don't see nipple.
But it's so true. Where she's like, do you want some dessert? And just like hands them a bong.
That would be me. That would be me. That's all I want in life.
Ugh. Worst song ever. I'm not quite there yet, but... Oh, now I am.
Ah. Oh my god. Also, with the card that opens up and sings, Jawbreaker doesn't sing, but stuff happens.
You're you're.
I've
I've
never even
never
thought about
thought of
that.
that. That's so great. Did you just come up with that?
Yes. I gotta think.
I,
I would perform this for my mom.
if I honestly think, you know, there's some people that are like, oh, not some people, it's a science. You know, if you like kill animals as a child, you're probably going to end up as a serial killer. It's like, okay, well, if you don't put your hair up in a mohawk and sing that song and act like her in the shower, you're probably not a human being.
Yeah.
You probably
What are
don't
you
have,
doing?
yeah, you're probably a killer.
You're a serial killer.
You're
Sorry
a
to tell you.
sociopath.
I would just sit there and perform it for my mom, and she would just watch me. And like, I was really shy as a kid. I don't know where I got the courage to do that, but I love doing it.
Yeah.
And my friend and I would try to do that with our hair, make long ass mohawks with it with soap.
I think I heard in a thing with her where she was like, that was not shampoo. Like there was, my hair was like, there was like product in it to make it
Oh,
stand
I'm
up like
sure
that.
because when we tried, which we used so much, it took so much, and it would only stay up for like 2 seconds, and then it slowly starts to fall down. I was like, no, 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 please.
So he has a good
Why?
question. In your opinions, what was the last great teen comedy we had?
Well,
So you
do
said
you have
what?
one?
No, I gotta think for a second. If
I
we're not counting this one, if we're going from not this but 2010 to now, I've got to think for a second.
well, I watched Do Revenge, which came out last year,
What's
and
that?
it has Maya Hawke, and I feel so bad because I cannot remember the other girl's name, but I know she's in Riverdale. Super pretty.
Hmm.
The tan has like really like nice eyebrows. I can't remember her name, but this just came out last year on Netflix, and I loved it.
You know, Netflix has actually upped its reputation for something where it's like, do you remember 4 or 5 years ago where if there was a Netflix show, it was like, maybe I'll check it out. And now if it's like, dude, Netflix is doing it, oh, I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
That's
but Do
crazy.
Revenge is really good. I really like that one a lot.
Um, let me think. Teen movies. Teen movies. There was a movie on Netflix called Moxie that I watched that was pretty good. It's not as the same as these, where these are not that the other one isn't good. These are so this is like lightning in a bottle. That
Yeah.
should never have happened, this perfect movie. But Moxie is very, very good in the sense that it's very realistic, I thought, about how teen girls would like deal with rumors and things like that, and all of these like nasty things that go on, and the boys get pretty horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then there's this like sweet guy, and there's like it's a really good rom com. Like it's really good. And then at the end they have like this. It's like a similar thing to Mean Girls, where there's like an uprisal thing, like the whole school's like up in shambles at the end, and the girls are like, "What the fuck are we doing to each other?"
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was really good. But I would still say the Easy A is probably the best one off the top of my head. You know, I would put
Yeah.
that in like we've always done. Clueless, 13 Going on 30. What's that Alicia Silverstone one? Legally Blonde. Um, Fucking Jawbreaker, Heather's, Easy A, House, like all of that. Like there's a thing
Yeah, definitely. What's an Oh, I also watched Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen
with Lindsay Lohan.
for the first time last year.
I haven't seen it since I was a child.
There's definitely some stuff I was like, whoa.
Early Disney movies are really raunchy.
She kisses this guy who's a rock star who is buying drinks, so he has to be 21. And she's in high
Yes.
school, and I was like, girl. But besides that, it was a cute
You are
movie.
normalizing
I liked
inappropriate
it.
relationships.
Yeah. And it has Megan Fox in it, the iconic red dress that she wears. That movie,
Megan
I did like that
Fox is
movie.
in that?
Yes, because she wants Lindsay Lohan's like part in like the play that they're doing.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, holy shit, I did not know she was in this.
All right, sidebar. This part where she's like, we've had 9 classes together since pre-K.
She just does not. You're Olive, right? Oh my god, this part.
That was a bigger picture.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I
So,
paused mine for a half a second because I think it was like a half a second above you. People like Amanda Bynes' character are so frustrating because it's like,
did I just get
I
sick?
don't know how or why anybody gets the idea that all right, I'm not going to talk about religion. I don't talk about religion. But no matter who you are, what you believe in, whatever's in charge probably doesn't do a lot of hating.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand.
It's almost like people will read something and like completely take it out of context and use that in their favor.
Yes, like with the, not to bring Halloween Ends into this because everybody hates that film, but like when the guy said, I hated whenever the whole town like took my pain and made it about them. And it's like, you're just using that as an excuse to be an asshole to somebody. You didn't
Yeah,
even go through that. That's my shit. Like,
that's my trauma. Thank you, though.
Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan were talking about doing, oh, listen, I think that that's really going to happen. They've both been in interviews about it.
Freaky Friday. I've rewatched that movie twice within the past year, and I ugly cry watching that movie.
Here's what could happen. Now Lindsay Lohan could have a daughter, and so there's a whole, that's a new reason to do it, is because she might have swapped with her mother, but she's never had her own daughter before. So what if Jamie Lee Curtis switches with the grandchild, and then I can't come off the, but like, what if they all three switched places where it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Where
that
like
would
the
be
little
so.
girl's like the grandmother, she's like now the oldest one, and
Yes.
like Lindsay Lohan is like reverted to being, I don't know, it's like, it's
Also, this is probably the first thing I saw. Well, when did the Hunger Games come out? That was after this, right?
Hunger Games. Yeah, I think that was
2012 or something.
2012, 2014, and then 2016, or something like that.
Oh, actually, I'm trying to
Or
think.
maybe they came out yearly. I don't know.
Was Stanley Tucci or whatever, Tucci, however you say his last name. This might have been the first thing I've seen him in, and I fucking love him in this movie so much, Chad. And then watching him in The Lovely Bones, dude, that
I
movie is
heard that's a
rough.
sad movie.
Have you've never seen it?
No.
Is there a movie where you don't ugly cry? This one, easy A. I don't ugly cry during this,
Yeah, I
but
happy cry.
I do ugly cry in The Lovely Bones because that movie's like rough. And I read the book, and the book is even worse. Like, usually it is. Do you know what it's about though?
I think it's about this girl who realizes that she's a ghost and someone's murdered her, and then she has to go through this whole thing about who are you and how did it happen and figure out who it is. Then when she does, apparently it's like a surprise. It's really heartbreaking, and you're like, I can't believe it. And then don't they need to like find what happened to her body and actually find her bones to put her to rest so that she can like move on? And that's why it's called like the Lovely Bones or something. I don't know.
It's so much worse than that. And
Is it?
you do know who did it because okay, it's this man, okay? The guy that plays Olive's dad.
Oh, damn it! Because he's so hot. Like for a dad, he's a dilf. I
But
fuck,
he's giving like Dahmer glasses vibes.
No,
He is a
he's
rapist.
so much better as this father.
I know, and it's so hard because in that movie he's so awful because he like he builds this whole underground like basement thing and like for kids. You see where I'm going with this? And takes her down there and
No,
yeah, and then kills her. And she's like trying to like tell her family like what has happened, but she is like a ghost. It is like, oh my god, I haven't watched it since I was younger. Me and Mia tried to watch it one night, and we never got around to watching it. It's a really hard movie to watch, but it's really good. It is
Yeah.
just so sad.
One
And
of
you
my
see a bunch
childhood
of other
friends loves
ones.
that movie. And by
It's
loves
just,
it, I mean she completely fucking hates it
yeah.
because of how much she loves it. You know? Do
Yes.
you have something like that?
Yeah, because like it is a really good movie. It's just a really tough movie to watch because of the subject matter. But
Me with
it's like
Handmaid's Tale.
really good.
Because I love it. It's so good, but it's so scary and it hurts so much that it's so hard to watch.
Yeah. That's how I would say that. Which he talked about filming, like the scene, which it does not really show anything, thank God, you know.
Yes.
But there's a part where he just has to like touch her shoulder, and he said like he felt so awful, even have to like touch her shoulder in the scene, like because we know what is going to happen. So like I do love him, like as a person, so great. And he even said like the role was just so nasty, which that's what he is doing.
And it must be hard to take that on too. Yeah, look, he even says like he's legit scary in that.
Yes, the book, yeah, the book is like I read because like I would try to because my mom had the book and she kept like all her books in like a crate in my closet because I had like a big closet, and so I'd go through her books and like that was like the only one that she had that wasn't like a rom-com sort of book, wasn't like a
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Sparks kind of book. And so because my mom loved Nicholas Sparks, and so I found it and I'd already seen the movie and I enjoyed the movie, so I read it and it took me like 5 tries to actually read the book because it is just hard to get through.
Holy shit!
Malcolm
Holy
McDowell.
shit! Sorry, I did not mean to like. I was totally listening right up into
No.
the point where fucking Dr. Loomis was on screen.
I
Sorry.
know. Like what
I
the
haven't seen
fuck?
this movie in years. I did not know that was him.
Mostly. Sorry, you said it.
I'm sorry. You can finish your sentence. I was
No,
totally
that
caught
was
off
it.
guard.
The book is a really hard read. A
Yes.
really tough
About your
read.
old book things and stuff, though. You know, if you grab an old book and smell it, apparently it'll bring back a memory. Like it'll trigger a memory for you. Nobody knows why or what, but apparently any human being can pick up an old book and smell it, and it'll trigger an early memory for them from their life.
Isn't it crazy how like smells are so entwined with memories? Like, because I feel like I can smell someone's perfume and I can remember like the first time I ever smelled that perfume. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it just takes you right back.
Especially if I walk past like Hollister or something. I'm
Yes.
24 now, and no matter how much I walk past Hollister, even if I'm 50 one day, when I smell it, it's always going to be like the first time I smelled it when I was 13 walking into
Mm-hmm.
the mall, you know?
Yes.
Oh, and this music right here, too. Man, she gets such a hard shit, and fucking, she gets picked on too much.
Penn.
Oh, but how about that fucking, is that James Marsden? No.
Penn Bagley. It's Joe from You.
Okay, all of these people literally went on to do other amazing shit, and I have not seen this movie since they've advanced their careers.
I was obsessed with him as a kid because of this movie and because of the Stepfather remake. I watched that movie so much. I love him. He is so fine.
Yes, he
Big
is.
fat slut.
And you
And you
punched her in
punched
the
her in the
tit?
left tit.
Me too. I love that line. I always did, where she's like, I worry about the way that shit goes
Because
around
that's how
here.
rumors are. She's like, what the fuck?
He literally just said, when I saw you, I screamed, Woodchuck done!
Ay, 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 ay. When he's fucking, ay, 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 with the fucking wood. You little sex monkey.
See, I like Ree too, but she also becomes really pushy, and it's like there's a reason, because it makes me sad because Olive isn't going through any of this anyway. So when you end up finding out the truth, you're gonna feel like shit.
Mm-hmm.
But second of all, even if everything that Olive was going, like, say Olive didn't make anything, like maybe she really was going through all of these things. What kind of friend are you that it's like the second your friend starts going through a little bit of hardship, you start bailing on them?
Seriously. And then you, like, because when it all starts out with her just possibly sleeping with one guy, she's like, oh my God, that's so crazy. But then when more stuff starts to come out, she's like, you're a slut. Like, what the fuck?
And she
That's your
turns on her.
friend.
T, 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 T,
T,
T,
T,
T.
T,
My
T.
dad actually loves this movie.
Really?
Like, you know, my dad's really emotionally intellectual, and he's intellectual as well. Like, he worked for the military and like did like he like built the aircraft carriers and shit. Not the aircraft carriers. He built the fucking planes that would land on the aircraft carriers. So if ever there was a plane that needed maintenance or something, like I'm sure everybody has seen Top Gun. The thing that Tom Cruise flies, if he's like, "Oh, there's a problem with my thing, I gotta land." My dad was the guy who would pop up the control panel and take the wires and everything and fix the fucking plane so that people could fly it again. And he is hard and rugged, and he'll tell you every day about his military background. But you fucking put on Emma Stone and Easy A, and he'll sit there and he'll cuddle up with a hot fuzzy pink blanket and bunny slippers like he's a fucking teenage girl. He loves this movie.
Let me get comfy.
Yes.
Shot that horse in the face.
Yes.
And they're just like the best parents.
And this movie has gotten, I know, I wish mine were like that. My
like,
parents were like that in the humor ways, but they were just also very flawed as people, so they had a lot of bad stuff too. If they were only, if they were only like that, I would have that. I've been drinking a lot of soda.
I have a Dr. Pepper right here. So where are you from originally?
Oh. Dude, that's so fucked up too.
Oh no. Did we miss the part where they're talking about like growing? He's like, well, I'm adopted. He's like, who told you? He gets so mad.
Yes, that's what. All right, so that's the first time he was on screen, and you were telling me that he was the dad in something else. He's like, well, what's wrong with that? I'm adopted, and he's like
against the wall.
He's like,
who
what?
told you?
Who told you?
Together,
guys, we were gonna do this as a family.
It's so. Oh my god.
Could you imagine if you had to come out as black, like some people have to come out about their sexuality?
He's like, who told you? He's like, I think
I told myself.
told myself. Very haute couture. I'm the new school.
Also, it's so cute because obviously the dad doesn't mean that at all. He's being so sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
Satire. They're very satirical. And also something that's so funny is you understand more of the jokes as you grow up, like how he goes, or the little brother says to Olive, "I like your pants," and she goes, "Thanks, they're Costco."
Yeah,
Costco, like
Costco.
I didn't know what that was when I was younger. Now I do. Like,
I love just watching my favorite movies as a kid because, like you said, you understand so much more of it as you get older. I love that she's cleaning it and then he's writing on the stuff. Brandon.
Everyone always said that it's so. They're like, why doesn't it have stalls on the doors? And I was like, did you go to a high school that had bathroom doors? Because I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Really? I was so mad because I sometimes get pee shy, and well, because excuse me, but in nature, in the wild, if a deer or an animal or something is peeing, they're vulnerable, and if you fucking walk up on something when it's peeing, you can fucking attack it and kill it. So excuse the fuck up out of me that I'm in high school and I'm trying to go pee and fucking 5 guys fucking walk up behind me. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit nervous. Like,
Yeah.
You had doors on your bathrooms?
Yes.
We didn't. Not even the girls. And the girls, they had a pool curtain. Like, they had a curtain you could pull over for your stall. But the guys, there was nothing.
Oh my god.
Sometimes, depending on what floor you were on, there wasn't even dividers in between the toilets or the stalls. It was like, shit here.
Shit here.
Piss here.
No, we had doors. That's crazy.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Get on some old dude.
That's what somebody told him.
Yeah.
Her fucking ringtone.
I love that. Hello.
Bit.
Also, I love the name.
Bit. What's Bit?
What's Bit? What's Bit? Big tits. That's my identifier.
Woo!
Yes.
I'm gonna grab a drink really quick. So.
Okay.
Sweet. Wait, what's about to happen? I
Woo!
forget.
Big tits.
And a gentleman's agreement. Not his fucking moped.
Oh my god, I always wanted a moped.
I have a scooter. I love my scooter.
Like an electric one?
Yeah. It's like a. Ugh. It's fucking huge. Ooh.
A whole ass scooter.
Well, it's a little bit smaller than the ones that are like rentable. Because they're out here in LA. They have ones that are on the sidewalk that you can rent. But they're so expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, they charge you by the minute. And that's. You kill like 3 or 4 minutes at a stoplight sometimes because there's a lot of traffic in LA. A boy.
A boy.
Where
This
the
is where the
magic
magic happens. I mean nothing.
I've got to go get a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. You're not really my type. Got a V where you rather see a P.
Did you two, if ever, get after school detention? Did they make you clean? Yes, I always had after school detention because I was foul mouthed and I do not. Listen, I'm the kind of person where be the bigger person sounds a lot like tolerate the disrespect, and I'm not about that. So I was always cussing teachers out. But no, they always just gave me extra homework.
I never had after school detention. I was just too scared to get in trouble. Like the anxiety of being in trouble, like I'm still that way. I hate being in trouble. It makes me want to throw up.
See, here's the thing about that. Everybody's genitals are the same. Some people's are just longers. Like, sorry, that's so gross, but it's like everybody pees out of it. Some people have 8 inches. Some people have no inches.
Yeah, because isn't it like everyone starts out with like.
That's why men have nipples. All babies are female at conception, and as the baby develops, it takes a certain amount of hormones at the exact right time in the pregnancy to switch the XX chromosomes to XY, and then from there it'll start producing estrogen, or it'll start producing testosterone. But since we were already in the process of being made as a baby, our nipples and stuff are already there. So that's why men have nipples.
Wow.
I also kind of think, of course, this isn't science proved, and I've always just thought, if we all start off as female, and it takes hormones to switch your chromosomes to make testosterone so that you can be a male, what if somewhere in that switch, if it doesn't happen all the way right, if someone doesn't have the amount of chromosomes that are correct, they can end up with Down syndrome. So if our sexual chromosomes are getting switched so that in pregnancy we can either be male or female, what if in that switch blending happens and that's where sexual fluidity comes in, and some people are more masculine? You can get like really big women who are straight, or really big women who are lesbian, or like really tiny men who are gay, or like really tiny men who are straight, or like vice versa. Like so many people have so many mixes of testosterone and estrogen that it's like, what if in that chromosomal switch, people's bodies and personalities
are like formed in there.
Anyway.
I'm not a scientist, but.
Me either. I always thought Melanie was really pretty.
Have you ever seen The Collection. There's like the Collector, and then there's the Collection.
Which one is the second one?
That's the Collection, and that's where it starts off in the nightclub.
Brrr.
Yes.
I've seen half of that one, and I haven't seen the first one.
Well, she plays the friend of the main girl in the second one, in the Collection. Because I was watching the Collection, I was like, oh my god, she is so familiar. And I looked her up, and I was like, oh my god, it's Melanie Bosstick.
Melanie Bosstick.
And she also plays the babysitter in Paranormal Activity 3. The one that gets like jump scared with like the sheet.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I always thought the third one was the scariest one. I saw the second one first, and then I did 1, and then I did 3. And I always thought that 3 was the scariest.
3 is the Bloody Mary part?
Yeah, even because there's an extended version of that movie.
Yes. So fucking scary. The third one is creepy as fuck.
When I know that there's an extended version of a film, the theatrical almost doesn't exist to me.
Yeah, I feel that.
Unless it's Rob Zombie's Halloween, because I just can't stand that rape scene. I would rather him break out of prison. He kills like 4 more guards that way.
And you see Bill Moseley.
I know.
Why would you not want him in your movie? Hello. Hello. Just grunt. Like, what is this?
Like sex noises. What is...
Also, that was barely a slap. That was literally like a fucking...
I know, right?
Get him. Oh, yeah.
So Matt says, hello, Chase and Destiny. I hope you're doing well tonight. Absolutely love this movie.
Yes.
Oh my god. She's like, do you like that? And he's like, not so aggressive. He's like, a little bit.
A little better.
Because he's gay and he's getting his ass spanked.
He's gay, no?
That's not always the case, though, but...
I'm not gonna stop. Take your...
That's not gonna make people think you're gay shit.
Because I'm a straight guy.
Roar!
I also love her dress. That dress is so cute. Oh my god, you smell that? You. Oh my god. It doesn't smell that bad. Oh my god. Ready for the grand finale?
I know. Someone just said they don't make comedies like this anymore. Same with like Scary Movie 1 and 2 and 3. You cannot make a film like that anymore. You get so fucking canceled.
You can't do it. They're so funny though. Like, I know a lot of it's so bad, but it's funny. Like,
well, here's why. They're homophobic, they're racist, and they're misogynistic, but they are making a mockery of that behavior. So it's not that those movies are actually racist or anti-woman or anti-gay, but that it's like they make fun of people who actually act like that. Like, it's just the smartest thing. Like,
what's up? Oh my god.
Also, just crazy the way that guys are so like highly regarded for sex, and like the way that she walks out of the room, she's kind of like embarrassed and stuff. Like,
yeah. Oh my god. I'm drunk. What's up, bitches? Yeah, because they're all congratulating him and oh yeah. Then she walks out and everyone's like, just like, what the fuck? But double standards. Oh my god. Todd.
that was a joke.
Ooh, that was a joke. I love him, and he's so good in this movie. He's so good.
He's a good guy, too.
Can I get you a beer? That rhymed.
So cute. I hate teenage boys.
They're disgusting. Oh,
Why are men?
for real, like that's just so. It's so annoying. It's seriously
Ugh.
so annoying. It's like we can't do anything.
And especially because it's like if you don't understand that, then you won't understand why it hurts. Because a lot of that was my whole problem with like growing up in Ohio. People would be like, I don't know, like you can't explain why something like that matters to somebody who doesn't care in the first place.
Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. Never had one lesson.
That's me. That's you probably too.
That's
Don't
me as
lie.
fuck.
Don't lie.
My dad tried to teach me one time, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore because I couldn't do it. And then I tried again not too long ago, and I was like, I tried to do master and puppets.
I
I went
tried
to
to
make a
play the
funny
piano.
video.
I couldn't do that either.
I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano.
Knocked up.
Knocked up. Second shot at racing kids. Really do it right this time.
Oh, do you hear this suggestion?
We haven't done Jennifer's Body.
We've talked about it.
We've talked about it.
We talked about it once when you were on a hot streak with it. It was resurfacing and like 4 other channels had asked you to like do it with them. And I was like, I'm not going to ask you to do it a 5th time in a month.
Because I was like, y'all, like, that's my second favorite horror movie. But like, I can't.
And everybody knows that. So when it was popular again, they all wanted you for it.
Yes. Which
I'm totally down though.
Thank you for including me. Like, as a kid, I didn't know what this was.
Me either.
But then on rewatch, I was like, oh my God, because it vibrates. I was like, dude, you can go fuck yourself. Like, come on now. Or screw yourself, you know. But yes, I remember that because I did so many Jennifer's Body streams, and I was like, I can't keep doing it. I haven't watched it that much since then because I feel like I got burnt out on it because I watched it so many times. But now time has passed.
Yes.
And I am down because I still love the movie.
Of course, it's great. I love the part where she's literally like, and like vomits the black sludge.
Black, just fucking. Also, I like that she calls her Melanie Dipshit.
At Melanie Dipshit's party?
I would have come and hold.
I like how she says you're kind of pissing me off a little more than usual. So I'm actually live streaming again in 2 days because that's the 1-year anniversary of Scream 5. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
I've spent the past 11 years of my life with Scream 4. So I've literally watched Scream 5. I've tried to watch it almost once a day this entire year just because as soon as Scream 6 comes out, it's no longer going to be the newest one. Yeah. I had 11 years to obsess over Scream 4, and now I only have this 1 year to digest the 5th one before
we get a fucking another one, which I'm so excited for.
Hold on, where's my iPad? How many days until March 10th? It's 57 days until then. 56 if we count the fact that today is almost over for both of us. And 55 if you think about the fact that some people are going to be able to see it on March 9th.
Yeah. Which I will be there like that Thursday before that Friday.
Oh, damn. Somebody just asked a really hard question. Between Mean Girls or Easy A, which do you prefer?
I'm going to have to say Easy A because it is my favorite non-horror movie. But that's like, Mean Girls is probably like my 3rd favorite after Clueless. Like, I fucking love Mean Girls.
I grew up with that. I was like, I was 4 or 5 when I was watching that.
Yeah.
I should not have been. Oh, I love this part where she's sewing it in this song.
Her fucking. I remember watching this as a kid, and I was like, I want to dress like that. I want lingerie for clothes. And for a while, I did.
Good.
I wanted to wear one of my little bodysuits because it's black, and I couldn't find it, so I'm just wearing like a bra instead. But I do have my A.
Oh my gosh. My friend was literally telling me I need to embroider a red A on my shirt or something.
Seriously. I just thought about it because I wanted to do this for Halloween, but I felt like it just
I'll
wasn't
do
enough
this.
for like horror or any, like it just wasn't enough for Halloween for my like 31 looks. So when we
Yes.
were doing this, I was like, oh my God, I can do the A. Like, this is
Yeah.
perfect. So I hurried up, got ready, and then I cut this out of a t-shirt and just, I'm just putting it on because I didn't want to sew it onto my bra, but I have my
Yes.
A. It's just, you can't see it.
That's so perfect. No, of course, now it's on camera. It's in documented history. Oh, rats.
Rats. My friend and I quote that part all the time. The, oh, rats. Burn.
I just love how she handles things. Oh, also that
Yes.
Todd kid that Ree likes is really cute. Except he ends up being a douchebag.
So
I think that's why I like him.
I follow a girl on Twitter. No, on TikTok. I follow a girl on TikTok because like she's in love with like 2000 stuff, and she's so pretty. Her name's Madeline. She is dating that guy, and he's like a nurse now. She's literally
Oh.
dating him. I was like, oh my God, and I didn't know that. And I followed her for a while, and then I was like stalking her TikTok because like I just love her videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Get the hell out of here. Amen.
I know, right?
I heard the whole thing. Also, you have fucking the guy from Twilight. What's his name in Twilight? Is it James? The bad vampire?
In the first one,
Yeah.
oh my god. It's
I think
gotta
his name
be.
is James. That is him because he's also in the movie The Unborn. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's like a 2008 or 9, late
Imagine this
2000s
guy
horror
right
movie,
here, just super fucking pale.
right? With his long ass hair and his low ponytail, shirtless. You brought a snack.
I can't stand this bitch right here. It's so hard to love them. Like, it's just so hard.
They just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Shut the fuck up. Let's change lives today. But that's how people really are.
But I don't get it. It's not your job.
For real.
Isn't it God's? Stop doing his job.
Why don't you just do you and let other people do them? In the song, Let My People Go.
To let my people go.
Let my
To
people
let my people, to let my
go.
people, to let my people go. This is now Bible camp stream. We're gonna turn this movie off and we're just gonna start reading. Someone came into my work the other day and I asked them about something. I was like, oh, is there anything else I can help you find? They're like, no, thank you. I was like, sure thing, just let me know. And then they came up to me and they were like, I don't approve of this. And it was like something that said happy birthday on it. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And they're like, I'm a Jehovah's Witness and I don't believe in birthdays. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. And they just were like asking me and like, why would you do this? Why would you do this, that, and the other? And I was like, I just work here. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Just don't get it. Bye. Thank you.
I know. I don't know. She was just harassing me like I had done something. And I was like, ma'am?
Oh my God. Okay. That reminds me of, I wasn't here for this, but my boss told me about it. So this is at Sonic. This guy rings in and he was like, I want a burger. And so now, the past like 2 years, our burgers come with mayo and mustard. The number one, or no, mayo and ketchup, number one and number two. And he was like, I want like a cheeseburger with mustard. And she's like, okay, just letting you know it comes with mayo and ketchup. Is that okay? Or do you just want mustard instead? Going back and forth. He just won't give a straight answer. And he was like, are you dumb? I said I wanted mustard. And she's like, and then finally, she's had enough. She said, I'm just trying to clarify and make sure your food is right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, orders taken. He gets the food. You want to know what this motherfucker says to the car hop? Have you talked about God recently? I was like, if I was that car hop,
Yeah.
No, I haven't. But last night I did worship Satan. How about that? How dare you fucking be an asshole and be so rude and call people stupid, and then have you talked about God? How about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not proud of your behavior.
Yeah, why don't you think about it, sir? Like, how fucking dare you be an asshole and then turn around and act like you were so, oh, Mm,
I've
absolutely
never
not.
understood that. I literally can't for the life of me figure that out.
Absolutely not. I when they told me the next day, I was pissed. I was like, I wish I was here for that. I wish I was here.
Mm.
I would have lost my job.
Don't do it. It's not worth it
It's
over
not.
these fucking people. Ugh.
Blech.
I might have said yes.
This part. Not now. I don't shit dick. Yes.
You are repugnant. He's like, yeah, that's kind of the problem. So no, I have not seen Fired Up. Oh no, I have. I think I have.
I haven't, but I know the girl from Disturbia is in Fired Up because I've seen her on the cover.
That's a cheerleading movie, isn't it?
I do want to watch it though because I heard it's like a raunchy teen comedy, which I just love raunchy teen comedies. Like that shit's so up my alley.
Have you ever seen Not Another Teen Movie?
Yes, I watched that last year for the first time.
It's stupid. I love it.
So dumb. It's like I was like, and like I had seen, so I watched Not Another Teen Movie, and then a couple of days later, I had watched She's All That, or yeah, is She's All That? I watched that a couple of days later, and I was like, oh my god, oh wow.
Is that the other Amanda Bynes movie that we were thinking?
No, that one has I forget her name, but it has Freddie Prinze Jr. in it. That one was like late '90s, like I think '99
Oh,
something.
gotcha.
But that one was really good. And then recently they came out with He's All That, which stars Addison Rae. And has some guy, Kourtney Kardashian's in it for a second. It's I didn't watch it. Do you watch Trixie and Katya?
Yeah.
So
Sometimes I watch their YouTube videos.
Yeah, I watched their video, the like to watch. I watched their video reacting to He's All That. So I didn't actually watch the movie.
Gotcha.
I love them so much. They had me cracking the fuck up.
This kid right here, I think he's actually kind of cute for a nerd.
He is cute. Okay.
Aw, poor little sweet guy.
What happened to chivalry? This is another reason why I love this movie because they include so many 80s like John Hughes moments and shit like that. Like that's just so love it. I actually haven't seen 16 Candles though. I do need to watch that. Wait. No, I haven't. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I just watched that one not too long ago for the first time too. I really like that one.
My friend named her cat Ferris after that movie. I gotta turn my light on in my living room real quick.
See, 15 cents. Antibacterial gel. And then she's using it. This brings us to part how Olive Pendergast, went from assumed trollop to an actual lover. Oh. I did. What's going on? Did I watch? Oh, okay. I did watch 16 Candles. I have not seen Pretty in Pink. That's what I haven't seen. Yes, thank you.
You haven't seen what? Yeah, 16 Candles is the one where she's alone on her birthday and like gets all those wishes.
I've seen 16 Candles. I have not seen Pretty in Pink. That's the one I was thinking. 16 Candles, bro. I watched that again last year for the first time. That movie that movie ages like fucking milk. Okay. I was watching it and I was like, there's a whole section of the movie that is so like date rapey.
And oh my goodness. Really?
Yes, like this girl is drunk and she has like this boyfriend and you have like the boyfriend is the main guy who is like into Molly Ringwald and she likes him, you know. And the girlfriend's drunk and then you have fucking what's his name from Halloween Kills and Breakfast Club. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, fucking
is his name
James.
Brian?
No, I've worked with him before on
Anthony
Goldberg's. Anthony Michael Hall.
Yes. Yep.
He's on the
Anthony.
Goldbergs. He's the gym teacher, I think.
Oh, well, he's in the movie, and he's like taking her home, and the guy was like, "That's me," saying like, "You can do whatever you want to her," and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" And then they end up together at the end. And I was like, oh. So that movie does not age well whatsoever, which I was so disappointed in because
Some of the
God
language
knows,
doesn't age in films, you know?
no, no. Every time the Asian guy showed up, they did like, you know, stereotypical shit, and I was like,
I
oh
was
my
at the
god.
mall the other day and I heard somebody referring to someone who is Asian, and they said something about that Oriental over there. And I was like, I have not heard that word since like 2004. Okay, please leave that there.
Please stop that. And like I'll watch movies like scary movies, and like I feel like I don't easily get like offended by stuff, because I do understand. And I hate using it as an excuse, like it was a different time. That doesn't make it okay, but it was a different time, still
Yeah,
shitty. But then the whole date rape segment, I was like, you completely
you knew
lost me with this
better.
movie.
Yeah.
I am gone now. That movie was just so not good. I was so disappointed. I do still want to watch Pretty in Pink though. That's the one I need to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Oh my
heard
God,
this
Phoebe
woman.
from Friends.
I have heard she is not nice in real life.
Lisa Kudrow.
I've heard so many stories about her with
I
meat.
I've heard in betweens.
Mm-hmm.
So sharp.
Sharp. I love this. I feel like I quote this too often. Sharpen your pencils. Nice and sharp. So sharp. I just love her facial expressions. They're so good.
It's crazy. I think this was like one of Amanda Bynes' last films.
Which that's so upsetting. And like I remember being probably like 15 and looking her up and like seeing what she looked like, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? But then when you find out shit similar to like Britney Spears and stuff like that with like, all that going on, I was like, oh my god. Which now she's becoming a nail tech. We love to see it.
And she was one of the original girls on Nick.
Yeah,
Before Drake and Josh, before Zoe 101, before Victorious, before any of that shit, before all of it. She probably received a lot of creepy shit from Dan Schneider.
probably his fucking dumbass, stupid ass looking ugly motherfucking ass. I hate that man so much. And that sucks because I love iCarly. I love Victorious. That was my
Well,
shit growing up.
a creator of a show is exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
They created the concept, but so many people work on it. Thousands of actors, thousands of editors, thousands of everything. I'm going to tell you this right now. I learned this in film school. It was a very hard pill to swallow. Every single film in history, if you own it on DVD, if you've watched it on TV, if it's a show you've seen, I can promise you somebody was a rapist and worked on your favorite whatever it is, because there's over 5,000 people sometimes on something, and of those 5,000 people, one of them's got to be a man that was not right or correct with his hands. It happens all the time. I see it every day. There's not one film in the world that's ever been made by someone who's completely innocent, but we
Mm-hmm.
just don't know about all those things because they haven't done it for 30 years in a row like Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate. It's so nasty. It's really upsetting. Because, like, I do
If we
still
let
watch
bad people taint
iCarly.
everything, we wouldn't have anything.
We would not have literally anything. There's always been pieces of shit in everything. We just
But and you were
not know.
saying you used to watch iCarly when you were younger. Me too, by
Yeah,
the way.
and Victorious, and which I still watch those shows sometimes.
They're
Like
good,
I
and they make a
still
lot
really,
of jokes. Like,
I, I still love them. It's just it sucks when you find something out about that because I feel like you can really see more of it in that. You know what I mean?
or
Like,
with Zoe 101, where that girl got bullied off the show. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yes, yes,
By Britney Spears and Jamie Lynn Spears.
yeah. Like what the fuck? And did you see that they're gonna be doing like a revival show for Zoe 101? I literally just saw that before we got on.
What?
It's in the talks. And I know Victoria Justice will not be returning. I saw a post saying
Well,
she's
she would
not.
never.
No. No.
Oh my God, all that. I remember all that. All that. All that.
Yay. And look how crazy. This is all happening within a fucking day.
Well, that's how fast people change.
Literally.
I
I
finally
did
got through
it.
to you. Isn't it crazy how people will... Here's the thing about that is that no, you didn't finally get through to Olive. You were finally out of your own bubble enough that somebody besides yourself occurred to you. She was so self-absorbed that she never took on another person's feelings.
Literally.
Which is
Now
funny
they're
because that's what Jesus is all about. I went to church for the first 15 years of my life. And God and hates has never been in the same sentence unless the word doesn't is in between.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole, oh, he doesn't like that. Oh, he doesn't like this. Oh, he doesn't like that. Oh, that would piss him off. Oh, if you did that, you're going to go to hell. Really? Because I'm pretty sure that I can just, I know him too. I can just call him up and talk about my own problems. I don't really need you to
Literally.
come in and fix my relationship with God. I can call him myself.
Thank you, though. Oh my God, this part with the hand using the cross to get
I
it
know,
on.
I know. It's so funny.
Oh man.
Who have you been fucking? Or does she say screwing?
Screwing. I wish it was fucking. Then it would be rated R.
If you say fuck more than 2 or 3 times, you have to rate your film R.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
so
know
crazy.
that because they say fuck in Insidious a couple of times and it's rated PG-13. Maybe they only say it once, but if you say it any more than like 1 or 2 times, you have to.
That's like why, like in Tremors, the first Tremors, there's only one fuck, and it's Kevin Bacon, and he's like, "Fuck you," and he like screams it because like if you're gonna do it, you have to do it well, you know. That bitch. Honestly, this outfit though, she's rocking it.
Amanda Bynes is adorable, and I loved her
I
in Hairspray.
Oh my God, I haven't seen Hairspray in so long. Here's a twist of the movie.
It's really just sucks that Olive paid that consequence because Amanda Bynes and her were really, really good friends, and she did nothing wrong.
No,
Amanda Bynes' boyfriend was cheating on her.
literally. No one can stop. Oh,
I've only seen the first season of Friends.
I've never even really watched it. I've seen like a couple of episodes, but I never like grew up watching Friends.
She's hilarious. Me either. So I started to watch it for the first time ever. Same with That 70s Show. And there's a part where I think it's the first episode ever. Somebody is doing this really grueling task. It's going to take a lot of effort. And they're like, hey, Phoebe, can you come help out with me today or like at 4 p.m.? And she goes, oh, gee, I really wish I could. But see, here's the thing. I don't want to.
I don't want to.
And you think she's going to say, oh, gee, here, I really wish I could. But like, I have to pick up my friend from the airport. But no, she's like, oh, I don't want to.
I just don't want to. Thank you, though. I love it.
See, this is what I believe. I think that I'm not supposed to comment on what anybody else is going through because that's what I learned in my churching growing up was that my relationship with my higher power is that in itself. My business.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to try to save my soul. God and I will figure that out together. You worry about yours. And personally,
Exactly.
I don't know if anybody has ever seen Moana, but I wish that the little island tree woman, that would be great if she was in charge. Because
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like she'd be really nice. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen it, but I do know what you're talking about. I don't really watch a lot of
So
Disney
they
stuff.
go through the whole movie trying to save this island from
Mm-hmm.
dying, and because like all of the plant life is dying, and at the end they become successful, and the island gets up and becomes a woman, and all of these flowers start growing out of her, and you realize that it's Mother Nature, and they literally just saved Mother Nature's life.
That's cute.
And it's really cute, and she's like so pretty, and then she like gives a little yawn, and then like goes like this and goes to lay back down, and the way that she lays down, her hips and her shoulder and her head and everything look like a mountain range of an island, and then it becomes an island again, and people start living on her. I don't know, it's so cute.
That is
That would be
cute.
great if that was in charge,
Yeah.
instead of whoever keeps walking around giving people chlamydia.
Yeah.
Or if Elvira, what if Elvira was God?
Perfect. Oh, and she's trying to help him out because she feels bad.
And it's like that's not her job to do, or her
It's really
consequence to
not.
pay.
She shouldn't have to save someone's marriage. Like that's literally, and like that's her favorite teacher's wife too. So now she knows that about her favorite teacher. Like that's so sad. Okay, I do
She
love this
can't tell
part
him.
though. Where's
Yeah.
Quiznos?
Not now, Quiznos.
You're a slut. Oh, fucking Ree. Oh my god. Not you're a slut.
The music kicks in so good.
It's so good. Oh, Todd. This is probably my favorite line of the movie. Screw all these people, Olive. Haven't you heard? I already did.
It's the emotion in her voice as she says it.
Yes, like this part, it just feels so. That line just
He's
feels
so
so
smart
real.
that he can
It's just
tell
so.
that everything that's going on is not true.
Which
Sorry.
later on, he even confessed to like knowing like none of it was true. Like even at the party, he said that was a joke, because like he knows like that's not. It's not true. Oh, I just love him so much. I love him.
Yeah, he's pretty dreamy. Too bad he's a serial killer.
Look,
Poor Olive. I think she breaks up with him before that happens.
and now they're going to Paris. I'm so ready for season 4.
I have
Right
never
next to
seen.
Twilight.
I've never seen you.
It is so good. It is so freaking good. It's really like I don't know, like if you get like anxiety from shows though, this show you gives me so much anxiety. Like I hate because it's like a thriller, you know, and thrillers just give me so much fucking anxiety to where like I have to pause it because I can't breathe, and that's how you
It's
is.
almost like the heartbeat of the.
Yes, it's just like I get so stressed out and I get so anxious, so it is kind of hard to put myself through it, but it is so freaking good. A
A
harlot?
harlot. You know, even if you were, that doesn't make you a whore.
And it doesn't make you a bad person. Like,
These are the movies that really, really teach you how to respect women and human beings growing up. No one was getting hurt.
oh. Danielle marries. Pay a fine.
Because
Oh.
this is just a human struggle.
A wizard.
Minister, pastor, reverend, wizard.
A wizard. Oh my god. This
I
guy.
cannot stand that actor. I don't know why.
I feel
Just the
like
way he goes like this. The way he's like, wait, look.
yes, so we're clear. There's no argument. It's there. It's there. Lying about like a double whammy. That is so badly photoshopped. It makes me laugh. I didn't. Also, he just said God. Hmm.
When she drops all of her shit just right now. Yeah!
And the orange just goes out. Oh no. That when you're already having
So
a bad
relatable.
day and then something like that happens, I will lay in the road.
Do you know what? Do you want to know what happened to me today before I went to my shift at work?
What?
I needed a sock. Okay? One sock. Let me ask you a question. How many socks did I need, Destiny?
Just one.
Do you know what I could not find in my entire household?
One sock.
I was so. And I'm like, I like to be early. So even though I wasn't going to be late for work, I was late for being early.
Yes,
so I started to get stressed and I ran to my washer and I pulled things out, nothing. Ran to my dryer, pulled things out, nothing. Ran to my dirty clothes, pulled things out, nothing. Started pulling everything. I pulled every piece of clothes out. I was, there's one fucking sock in here. And I was so fucking mad. I was in like tears. I was like, what the fuck? And I literally was like throwing these clothes all over my apartment. And I was like, you know what? This is just happening because I'm in a bad mood. I'm being too aggressive. So I slow down and I'm picking through these things one by one, one by one, one by one. And 10 minutes goes by and there's still not a sock. And then I get mad again because it's like, it wasn't my temper.
It's just not there.
And out of nowhere, I just found a sock like underneath of my couch. I didn't even question. That happened this morning. I haven't processed it all day. Because it's like, why now? Of all places. 10 minutes before I'm struggling to go to work, what am I going to go to work with one sock on my left foot and not on my right foot? Like, that's fucking weird. Like,
You know, it's funny you say that because this morning I was,
what'd you do?
getting ready to go to work. And it's like I work at 6 a.m. and my morning is planned down to the minute.
Like if your shift starts at 6 a.m., that means you're waking up at 4:30, sometimes 5 a.m.
Yeah. And everything is like I get dressed at 5:37 so I can leave my house at 5:44. Like it is literally planned down to the minute.
Mm-hmm.
I found one sock. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
This must have been a universe thing, a test of patience. How patient can you be? Guess what, bitch? Not very patient.
I found a dirty sock and I just wore it because I didn't
That's
have
what
time.
I did.
I just found a dirty sock and I was like, I'm wearing it. I don't care because I need a fucking sock.
I know, and it's like I only wore it once. What did it? It's not milk. It didn't curdle in one day.
It's my foot. Who cares? So I wore one clean and one dirty sock today because I couldn't. And I did put the socks in the washer and I need to put them in the dryer after this. So I will have 2 clean socks for tomorrow. But I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't find one fucking sock. And I have so many socks. And it's like, I couldn't find one sock anywhere.
It was on purpose by the universe. I'm almost sure of it.
What are the odds? We were both just struggling. Oh, I never noticed that this A is bedazzled. It's like a sparkly, like sequins A.
Real.
That's cute.
Me either.
I like that.
Okay, so he's really cute. It sucks that he's a douchebag.
It really is, because you really think like, aw, finally, you know? Nope.
What's sexy about
About
slurping back some oysters?
nothing. Finish fly. Yes. I feel like that's me. I'll just start to ramble. Like,
Me too.
someone please stop me from talking. I'm just kidding. Yum.
Yum.
I'm jealous. You're the best.
What are the odds that all three of these fucking people, all four of them,
For
Olive,
real.
Todd,
Hit-
whatever that dickwad there is, and then Ree.
Literally, all there. But small town. This is probably
That's
the
true.
nicest place in town. All we have is fast food in my town. Well, actually, no, we do have like a little Mexican restaurant. That's actually
And
pretty
even
good.
still, you probably because even when I go back to my hometown, I'll fucking run into somebody and I'll be like, I have not seen them since high school. We are not friends. Just because I recognize you does not mean that we need to talk.
No, for like, don't say hi to me. Even if we see each other, like, don't say hi. I'm not.
If you weren't a part of my circle, do not take 7 years, almost 10 years of an absence. I told my friend this last night. I said, Kylie, our 10-year reunion for high school graduation is coming up in just a couple of years. Not 5, not 6, 2 or 3 years from now. 2. 2 or 3 years from now, my 10-year anniversary of graduating high school will be happening. My 10-year reunion. We both looked at each other and we looked at the same time. We were like, I'm not going.
I don't think I want to go.
Destiny, don't. Why would you?
Why should I? The people I talk to from high school that I still talk to are my friends. I don't need to see anyone else. I'm good. There's no one I want to catch up with. I hate most of y'all.
Oh yeah, there's no reason.
Oh, Home Depot. And like her face.
They do actually, but it's just kind of sad that it's like she didn't realize that that's what he wanted from her.
Yeah, she thought it was like a real date. Home Depot does have some cool stuff. Like their plant stuff and like gardening stuff is really cool. But still, what the fuck?
I'm just saying.
Dang. I'm having sex for money. But I'm not having sex for money.
Now you didn't.
Boom.
Why are men so mad about things like that? Do you not have a right hand?
Like,
oh my god, some fucking amputee out there is gonna get so fucking mad at me.
Do you not have a way
to masturbate? Yeah, there you go. That's
to do
the
anything?
Yeah, there you go. I can't believe that. I mostly was joking what I just said a second ago, but still, it's kind of inappropriate to be like, do you not have a right hand? Because someone maybe doesn't.
There's pocket pussies. There's robots. There's all kinds of shit out there these days. Like, get a sock.
I love how she's just
bawling, ugly crying.
in his. I've done that before. In my friend's car, I've just been like, ugh.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna. Sometimes you have to,
I hate that this is about to be a really disgusting metaphor, but have you ever had really bad cramps, or have like had food poisoning, or have like eaten food and then later you've had to go to the bathroom from the restaurant?
Literally,
the way
all
that
of the
cramping
above.
hurts so bad. Could you imagine just being like, I'm just not gonna shit. I'm just gonna hold this in.
I'm just gonna keep this.
How horrible and painful that would feel.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with emotions. And so sometimes people get uncomfortable if someone cries for more than a couple of minutes, but it's like, sorry, I kind of just have to go through this. You wouldn't cut somebody off in the middle of going to the bathroom. Don't shut me down from crying just because you're uncomfortable.
Literally, let me bawl my eyes out. Give me 10 minutes and I will
Ooh,
be
hurry
fine.
up. So that's just. Are you a crier like me?
I I can literally cry over anything.
Me too.
Literally anything.
I saw an Inside Edition video about how an aquarium burst and 1,500 fish had suffocated and were unable to
No.
be rescued. And I literally dropped to the floor and I was like, I was grasping my chest like I was
Why?
an 80-year-old having chest pains.
One time I saw a fucking commercial for something and I bawled my eyes out. I was like, oh my God. My mom watches How to Get Away with Murder, a show I
Ooh,
had
I
never
watched
seen.
the first season of that when it was first on.
I had never seen the show, and she is watching the finale of the show. I bawled my eyes out, and she's like, "Give a watch this." I was like, "I know, I can't help it." Like I
It's
am just
you're good at connecting.
yes. Like so, we were talking about Grey's Anatomy earlier. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy; never been my thing. My mom though loves it, and we were staying at her house a couple of days when it was really cold here,
But that
and
is one of those shows where there's an overarching storyline that goes on for years.
mhm.
But if you watch one episode, someone will come in, like a patient will come in for that one episode and have a 40-minute thing that you can digest in that one episode. And in 20 minutes into it, you're like,
That's exactly what happened. It was Aunt Jackie from Roseanne. She was on the episode because I was like, "Oh my God, that's Aunt Jackie!" And it was her
she
episode.
has
And by the end
cancer.
of it, yes, and she has to
And
tell
she's
her
talking
daughter.
to her daughter.
And I was like, I
I
was
know exactly what episode
crying,
you're talking about.
and I didn't want my mom to see me because I knew she would be like, "I told you." I was like, "I fucking know it's sad. I know it's sad." So I was just like watching it in tears. I'm silently crying. Tears are pouring, and I look over at her. She looks at me. She's like, "It's like
That's because
stop."
that's because even though Grey's Anatomy has become cliche in like
Mm-hmm.
pop culture and stuff, it's such good storytelling that people really just get into it.
Yeah, like when she's telling her daughter, like when you get married, and like I lost my dad. So anything that's like that, I'm going to bawl my eyes out. Anything with like a parent, I'm just like, you're hitting too
You
close
know,
to home.
Destiny, I have not physically lost a parent, um, but my mother was terribly, terribly abusive, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that when I was younger. And so my family kept me away from her for years. I didn't even know I had a mother for a while. When I got older, I tried to start visiting with her, and she started hurting me a bunch. And it got so bad that I had to go to the hospital a couple times. It was really bad. And I finally realized the severity of it. And even though I didn't lose her physically, I have a lot of mother trauma and what it would be
Mm-hmm.
like to have a nurturing figure. And
Yeah.
I watched The Final Girls, and to this
No.
day I can't watch that.
No.
I mean, I love it. It's one of my favorite, but that scene, I hate how inappropriate this is about to sound, but if I ever became anorexic and like needed to throw up on the regular, I'm not the kind of person who could just stick my fingers in the back of the throat. My gag reflex doesn't work like that. I can't. It's so hard to make me puke. Is my point. I know I brought up a really weird subject, but like the point there is that it's like I can't just go ugh and puke like anybody. And watching The Final Girls makes me feel like I need to die.
Yes. I watched that one day, which I really didn't know much about it, but I just heard a lot of talk about it. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. It was like a 12 p.m. on a Saturday, so like a Saturday afternoon. I'm having a great day.
Middle of the
I
day.
watched this movie. I was like,
Was it your first time?
yes.
So
I
you
was like,
think it's just going to be a fun slasher that's aware of itself, like Scream?
it is gut wrenching. I was sobbing, so I laid in bed the rest of the day. Like I was like, I felt depressed. I was like, no one
Grieve. You have to grieve the
fucking
movie.
talk
You can't
to
just
me.
watch that like how you can watch Scream every day.
No, that movie is like one that like I have like I love it so much. It is so fucking good, but I can't watch it that much. There is so whenever I used to have like the red in my hair, like the red like front pieces, I had just dyed it like 2 days beforehand, and I was watching the Final Girls, and I'm laying on my arm like this, crying. I get up, I have red here and all over my arm from my tears. And
Yep.
also, because they play Betty Davis eyes in that.
That's how I found out about that song, and that is one of my favorite songs in the world. In the world.
Well,
And
my
I
boyfriend, before I even watched the movie, he would just randomly sing that song, okay? So I'm literally watching it on my phone. He's over here, he can hear the music playing. He's like dancing to the song. I'm laying in the bed sobbing.
and you're like, stop
And I
it.
was like, it's not the time right now. It's like I can't. That movie, like, it is so good, but it feels like I'm being stomped on. But it's so good.
If we ever watched that, we'd have to do it in person so that we could hold each other.
I did watch it with Josh one time on his stream. At one point, I was like, okay, give me a second. I turned around like this to hide my face because
I couldn't do it live.
I was like ugly crying. I was like, I need to put my face to the side so no one can see me. I looked back up, tears were streaming.
You know, that's a good actor's tip. That just popped off of my head based off of what you said. This was not something that they taught me in my schooling, but this is something almost like a psychological thing. A lot of times when people want to feel, and maybe just because I get really cringed out easily by watching other people act. Like, if there's so many people who are like, I'm an actor, and I'm like, you're cringy as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't even make a TikTok. You're too cringy even for TikTok. Sorry, what the fuck was my point?
Crying.
Oh,
Acting.
yes. A lot of times people will want to flex how good they are at being an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And do this really awkward, weird crying thing or scene or whatever. But if you look at any person in the world when they're going through something, just how you said, when people are upset, they don't do a whole big display. They cover their mouth, they cover their nose, they turn away. They don't want to be seen. Nobody wants to be seen being that vulnerable. And so sometimes people will act and they'll be like, ah, ah, ah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a human would never cry like that. They would start to get a frog in their throat. They would
that burn.
They would breathe heavier. I hate that burn when you're in between, like,
And
being
you
emotional.
can't talk, and it's like stuck in your throat. You're just like,
you feel like you smoke 6 packs a day.
Hey guys, can you make
This is
yourself
the
cry?
best song ever.
Can you make yourself cry?
Sometimes I can. I would say 7 out of 10 times. I'm gonna take that back. I was a lot more sensitive until I've had to draw that back in. Not because being sensitive is a bad thing, but I'm pro being sensitive that I kind of pushed the boundary and became a little too sensitive, and it became a little bit debilitating. So I had to draw it back a bit. But yeah. Baby.
Did you ever watch the Naked Brothers Band? The show?
Yes.
Do you remember the episode where he has to make himself cry? And he ends up stepping on a plastic grape and like the stem makes him cry?
Yes, I think so.
I remember watching that as a kid. I was like, I wonder if I can make myself cry. So I started to do it. I could still do it if I just like let my mouth
I've noticed this. If I am by myself, it's really hard to make myself cry. If I'm in front of somebody, I don't even want to say this, but because I've never done it in a way to manipulate, but if I'm in front of another human being, I can it's almost like a light switch. I can flip it on so raw. I can start talking about anything and then just get so emotional. But if I'm by myself or if I'm trying to practice for something, I've never tried to cry for a scene or anything like that, but I just cannot do it by myself. But if there's another person there, just someone watching me, I can be like, oh, their attention's on me. Let me just sell this shit. And then it comes out naturally, and then I don't even have to sell it. It just happens. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so hard. They just keep doing it and doing it. Eyes are
I was
watering
gonna
now.
say I know we're on like not the greatest quality, but I can actually tell a difference between my pretending to and your welling up. You know why? Is because sometimes the eyelids will quiver a little bit along with the mouth, but
Yeah.
people will only focus on the mouth. The ending song's coming up.
Yes.
Because he pays attention to her.
Yeah.
Oh my god, all of his live streaming. Maybe we should invite her onto this one.
Oh my god, you think she'll come on? Now my eyes won't stop watering. They're like,
Just let it water for the rest of the scene.
right? Oh my god, it's just so beautiful. Maybe on our wedding night. It's no goddamn business. Period.
I have to pee so bad. I wish that I could hold it, but I will be right back.
Okay. Also, this motherfucker right here, minister or whatever the fuck he was, trying to watch it.
Right?
Fuck you. She's in high school.
Oh my god,
Hypocrite.
you're right. I totally didn't think about that the first time.
Yeah. Anyways. Even if I want to, I can't cry watching movies. I want to so much because I want to feel it. It's the wiring in my brain. I'm an emotional builder crier. Everything builds and builds, and it just fucking explodes out of me. See, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I've always been just a crier. Like, I cry. Oh my god, I forgot I was wearing eyeliner. Oh well. And my lashes are falling off. I'm just taking them off. Fuck it. Anyways, I just feel like I've always just been emotional. And then I guess especially after my dad, I just didn't know how to process emotions. But I cry when I'm sad, happy.
I didn't miss the
Sad.
end of the movie. I was here the whole time.
Of course. What? I definitely didn't take off my lashes either because I was crying them off. Like, who would do that?
No.
No, not at all. What?
You know, when I watched this for the first time ever, I literally was so moved that I finished watching this credit scene, just the whole going down
The whole
trees.
thing. The movie's so good. I fucking love it.
All right, there were some comments here that I didn't notice until right now. Okay, so ready? Let's check this out. You want to hear something weird about me? Even if I want to, can't cry watching movies. I want to so much because I want to feel it. It's the wiring in my brain. Man, I understand that. But that's kind of like my thing. No matter how much I try not to feel something, it's the wiring in my brain that's like, this hurts.
Yeah, and like, I feel like I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday at work, to where like, for me to be actually like affected by something, I have to see something. So, for example, and I know this is gonna sound shitty on my end, but like, I'm just being honest. If someone tells me their dog died, I'll be like, oh, like, I'm sorry, like, that really sucks. But like, I'm not upset by it, even though I know an
Well,
animal
that's
died.
because that's one of those things that what I said earlier, like if you just became debilitated at everything, then you'd never be able to live your own life. So there's a part of you that has to kind of separate
Mm-hmm.
that.
But then if I see a dead dog on the side of the road, then obviously I get upset. Or
Because how could you not? Like,
yeah, but people could just like a lot of times I feel like people just talk about like what they're going through, and I'm just like I don't. I'm sorry. And then my main issue, and I know it's not fair to people because like I shouldn't do this because people handle things in their own way. But like when people say like, oh, like something happened, and to me it's not that bad because in my head I lost my dad as a kid, you know? And so that when people tell me something that's just like, in my opinion, minuscule, I'm just like, well, okay. But
I'm
then to
sure you can
them,
manage.
that probably affects them so much more because they haven't experienced something that hard to manage. You know what I mean? So, and I find
But just
myself
because they
saying that.
haven't doesn't mean that you can flaunt that,
Yeah. So I'm
you
just
know?
like, mm, I don't know. A lot of, like, for example, whenever, like, I would have like a friend whose dad wasn't great, but wasn't like a bad dad, but not in the way of like abusiveness, nothing like that, you know. Just wasn't a good dad. And they would complain about that. And I was just like, okay, well,
Do you realize that I don't even get the chance to realize if I don't you don't I don't even get a chance to realize if I don't like my dad.
yeah. And so I'm just like, well, and I was like, I don't, it's like, I don't feel bad. I
Yeah,
really
it's not
don't.
that I don't have empathy, but it's like
Because I have a lot of empathy. That's my issue is I have so much empathy. But whenever it's in comparison to other stuff, I'm just like, it's really like, you just have to, like, I don't know. And I try not to do that because I know it's really not fair to people because obviously I would never want what happened to me to happen to anyone, you know, like I would never want that to happen. But it's just like until you feel something of that level, wh- what do you want me to say?
well, it's true. It's kind of like because take your personal experience out of your sentence. Your
Hmm.
sentence was if you haven't experienced this, how could you know what it is? You can apply that to anything. If you
Hmm.
haven't experienced ice cream, how could you know what it tastes like? How cold it is, the consistency? How could you know anything about it? You couldn't.
Hmm.
You've never tried ice cream. So it's like I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So then sometimes I'm like, whoa, that's me.
No, because it could literally be like, here's what I imagine. Because I was saying earlier with my mother, my
Hmm.
father is in a very, very similar boat. Both of them, out of a 10-star job, probably did 3 to 4 stars out of a whatever, you know?
Hmm.
But my grandfather was always there and still to this day is. And he's old and he smokes like a chimney. And when he goes, I will probably be so distraught that I'll have to request time off of work. I probably won't be able to be conscious for most of the day. I'll probably have to sleep most of the time. I'll probably have to go to the doctors. I'm doing this because I want to prep myself. I'll probably need to make a doctor's appointment for my physical health because I know that my stress will be so hard on my physical body that there will be consequences.
Yes.
I know that my emotional health will be so bad that I should probably talk to a therapist. And I know that the pain is going to be so bad. I tell this to people all the time. I'm like, you realize the day that I get a call that my grandpa Alan, my best friend in the whole world, like, you realize the day I get a call that he's gone, that's the day that I have my first seizure. I'm going to have a seizure that day. Like, and people don't understand when I say that, but it's like, you can have pain so bad that it's like,
Hmm.
you know, like I'm literally not being funny. I'm trying to relate to you so hard when I say, don't fucking tell me that when I get the news that I'm not gonna I will have a seizure. I will have a fucking seizure.
That's how it was with my mama because she was like, my second mom, because my mom had me really young and she worked, and so like I was, and we lived at my mom all
Your
the time.
grandma?
Yes,
And how old was
almost.
she?
She wasn't that old. She had cancer. She was like in her 50s, maybe like early
Mm,
50s, late
damn.
40s. And that was in like, that happened in 2015, I believe.
I still
But we
can't
were,
stand when people. I ask that because I still can't stand when people say things like, "Oh, well, she still got 50 years. She still had a life." You don't know what she had.
yeah.
Don't talk about her.
But she had cancer, and we were there in the hospital when she died. I wasn't in the room with her. We had gone down to the cafeteria to get food because we had been there for like almost all day, and then we got a call saying like we need to get up there right now, but we already knew. And so that elevator ride was so quiet because we were just like walking up there, and we saw my uncle, and he was already crying and told us, like she didn't make it. And then we sat in the room with her for like an hour,
And
and it
probably
was,
talked to her.
yeah, and played music, and it was the most bizarre thing because like I couldn't even, and like if you've ever lost someone from cancer, the end is so scary. Like the way they look at the end is terrifying. And because I saw her, and then her sister, which was my Aunt Tammy, also died from cancer in their house, though. She died in the house. Like they knew she was dying. She went back home to like live out there. And so she was still there by the time we got to my Aunt Tammy's house. And they looked the same. They didn't have the same cancer, but they looked the same. Their mouths are open. And that is haunting. That image of their mouths being open, like if anyone is
That's
around me
probably why you
with their
have a
mouth
connection
open,
to horror. I know that
yes.
sounds weird, but it's like, in the sense of being all honest, I know this is like so different from Easy A, but you know what? Conversations elevate.
So what if we just trauma dump?
So when I was 6 years old, because my sister and I are 4 years apart, 6 minus 4, 2. Yes, okay, yes, that math is right. When I was 6 years old, my sister was 2 years old, and she went to touch our neighbor's Rottweiler. She went to go pet it while it was eating, and she's a 2 year old, and she doesn't know that you can't just go up and pet a dog anytime. She's two. She's fucking two, and she's only ever been around nice dogs. No one has ever probably even fed a dog in front of her, let alone a Rottweiler. She's a 2
Yeah.
year old, let alone a Rottweiler that's the size of my fucking couch. She went and tried to go pet it on its face while it was eating, and it didn't even, it wasn't mad at her. It didn't snarl. It wasn't upset. It wasn't anything. It was eating, and she reached for it, and it said, ugh, and it went back to eating. It didn't even know that it had made contact with my sister. But my sister's face was missing, and a slice of skin hit the fucking deck. And they took that and picked it up and put it in a Ziploc bag
Mm-hmm.
and sewed my sister's face on at the hospital when the ambulance picked her up. She still has a scar on her face to this day. And whenever I was younger, I remember looking at that and watching that happen and seeing her face. And I can watch horror movies and things like Final Destination, and even though it's gross and it's scary and it's so realistic, I've seen somebody's face before. It looks sunken in. It
Mm-hmm.
looks different. There's tendons, there's pulsing. So when someone's got prosthetic makeup on, I'm like, no matter how realistic that looks, you can tell that it's on someone's face.
Yes.
When someone doesn't have a face, it's skinnier and sunken in, and there are holes. So it's like no matter how good your prosthetics are, they're thick. There's a shape to the it's so weird to say, but like
You're adding on instead of taking away.
I totally know what you're meaning by like I saw them even though they had different things, they looked a certain way. And you could make an actor look sick on camera, but you'll never know an illness until your family member has something that you can't help with. Like my Aunt Shannon went to Mexico and got parasites from eating a salad there just because it was unwashed lettuce. That can happen to any tourist. You can be poor as fuck, or you can be Paris Hilton. and go to
Mm-hmm.
fucking Mexico. That's not a guarantee they're going to wash the lettuce the way they should. Honestly, that can happen here. But like
I got food poisoning from Subway, and I am almost positive it's because of their
Olive
lettuce.
Garden got sued because for
Chipotle, E. coli.
I forgot about that.
That's why I don't get lettuce from Chipotle. No lettuce for this girl. Yeah,
The
that's
point is
fucking.
when something happens to you for real, there's a big difference than seeing it in a movie.
Mm-hmm. Real life horror is not fun. It's scary and it's traumatizing and it stays with you forever. And you will never
Forever.
that image.
Forever.
Like if someone is around me sleeping with their mouth open, I will close it. I will close their mouth or wake them up and make them close their mouth. Like I can't handle it because it triggers that in my head. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Close your fucking mouth. Like it freaks me the fuck out.
Yes.
No. And it always will.
So Brandon was saying, when my grandma was on her last legs, my family visited her in the nursing home, and I saw her in that state and had began crying. And my mom and my siblings asked first, "Why are you crying?" And it's like, well, she is my best friend. That's everything. Now, I have my partner in life, and if you asked me right now, like if whatever's in charge, God or the devil or I don't know, if something came to me and was like, you have to pick between your family or your partner, I just so happen to be in a relationship that's so pure and so untoxic. I had a very abusive childhood. So when
Mm-hmm.
I picked a partner in life, I didn't just go dating. I graduated from high school as a 17-year-old and spent 18, 19, 20, and 21 trying to find good people. And when I finally met somebody who was responsible, I did that and I've had them for the past 3 years. And it's the nicest my life has ever been. And so I would totally make that trade, but it's like still my grandpa is my he is my best friend in the world. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's untouchable almost, like
That's how
untouchable.
my mom was like my best friend. I was her favorite grandkid. Even if she would deny it, everyone knew because I was
She
also the first.
I can tell by your voice that she denied it just so that other people's feelings wouldn't get hurt.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I was the first grandkid. We lived at her house like most of my life in like their small house. I like slept on the couch almost the entire time we lived there because there wasn't enough room for us to all have rooms. So I slept on the couch. We would watch Criminal Minds late at night together. She's the one that got me into Criminal Minds, and I still love that show. But like I was the favorite. I was spoiled as a little kid, even though no one had money to spoil me. They still managed to
Is
do
it
so.
spoiled or is it called what you deserve?
Exactly. Hello. The first, I deserve a little treat. They would take me to Walmart like every day. I was a Walmart baby. I was
Me
in
too.
Walmart every fucking day.
Not every day because I wasn't close to one. My grandpa knew that I spent the whole school week with my dad. And that's because they wanted my dad to try to do his best at parenting. And he lived in a very rundown trailer. And I would get on the bus at his house and probably wouldn't have breakfast
Mm-hmm.
or dinner or clean clothes or anything that a child should have. Heat, running water. um, but he tried his best. And so I would always get to spend Friday and Saturday and Sunday, but then Sunday night I had to go back because of obviously school being on Monday. I got to spend 2 days at my grandparents over the weekend. Friday night, Saturday night, and then a little bit of Sunday. And every Saturday, my grandpa and he would take me to Walmart and he would tell me, no matter what it is in the store, no matter how much it costs, you can buy it. I will get it for you. And do you know what I never did? Never took advantage of that. Never asked for anything expensive. Never asked for anything over $30. You know
Mm-hmm.
why? So that every time that it was Saturday, Grandpa would take me to Walmart and I could pick anything I fucking wanted. And that was one of the best parts about my life, you know?
Mm-hmm. I loved it. Like I remember getting like you remember the what were they called? They were the bears where you can draw on them with the marker.
Doodle bears. Doodle
Doodle
bears.
bears. I love
Doodle
those.
bears.
And I think I only ever had maybe one or two. But like I remember getting those and like loving them, or I would like get little shit, like nothing ever crazy. I don't even think sometimes I would get anything. We would just go walk around Walmart because there's nothing else to fucking do where I live. So we would just go to
And
Walmart.
we probably live in the same place. Honestly, you probably live in a not worse, but
Small,
Ohio and
small
Texas are
town.
very similar.
Literally like small town, fucking really nothing here, nothing to do. Have to go
Brown
outside of
grass,
town.
a little bit of green grass. Somebody somewhere has a cow. Somebody
Yes.
somewhere is racist.
Oh, everywhere.
Somebody somewhere has a tractor.
We had horses in our backyard that weren't even ours. They were the neighbors, but they lived in
My
our
Aunt
backyard.
Trina lives in Texas. So my father's side of my family lives in Ohio, and my
Mhm.
mother's side of my family lives in Texas. And my mother's side of my family says that they have alligator gars in their
We talked about those
backyard
before.
pond. In their backyard pond. Not a big lake that people use. Like in their own tiny personal property. I have a little lake, not even a lake, I have a pond.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even fucking swim in my own pond because I will get eaten.
Them things are scary as fuck looking too.
Now, people will, if I'm not mistaken, people will think that an alligator gar is some sort of like reptile or alligator still, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fish
Yeah,
up until its mouth, and then its
it's like
mouth
pointy.
looks like an alligator snapper,
Yes. And
and that's
apparently
why
they don't attack. Apparently they don't bite. But
bullshit.
have you seen them things? I'm not
Do you
trusting it. And
do
they
you
get
know what I learned
huge.
from Jurassic World? I think that there was a line. No, not I think. I know for a fucking fact. In Jurassic World, the fourth one, where they were like creating the new dinosaur,
Mm-hmm.
somebody was arguing for it, and they were saying, "Oh, well, you know, she's never done anything violent before. She's never killed anything before. Like, why would this dinosaur be violent? Why would it be mean? It doesn't know to do that. We made it." And somebody else goes, "You can't be the biggest thing on planet Earth. You can't have teeth that are over a foot long and claws that are over 3 feet long. You can't be the biggest thing in the world with the most dangerous characteristics and then not have the same behavior that goes with using them.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible. That's like Freddy Krueger. You can't have razor hands and then just not slash teenagers. Like, that's not how, like, you have to use the things you have. Like, how do people not get that?
And just because it hasn't happened before, there's always a first time for something. Whether it just happened once and that's it,
This is grape juice with blood, by the way.
with blood. Are you secretly an alligator gar? Imagine you just like peel off your skin.
I could, but that'd be very painful.
Yeah, I would.
Speaking of alligator gars, how is there not a movie about them? When there's like 100 piranha movies, 100 shark movies.
And alligator and croc movies. We need an alligator gar movie.
Or a barracuda movie.
Barracuda.
Yeah,
Isn't that
because
in
that
Nemo?
fucker, I was gonna say that fucker ate Nemo's mom.
And all the other babies.
Get off.
And on that note, I'm gonna start crying.
I know. Easy A.
Easy. Great movie, love it.
I'm not upset at all.
I'm not upset. I'm not thinking about Nemo. Don't even ask. Like, why would I be thinking about that? What?
So we did go off on a lot of different tangents, and now that we are making jokes again about Easy A, was there anything that you picked up this time around that you just really appreciated? I know that a lot of times, obviously that's the point of these, is that the movie's meant to be background 50% of the time, and conversation is supposed to take place 50% of the time.
Yeah.
You know?
It would be boring if we were just watching the movie.
Well,
No.
it's been out for fucking 13 years. If I wanted to hear every single line, I would have done that for the past 13 years.
Yeah. The only things I really picked up on that I hadn't before was that connection with Jawbreaker with the card That's something I never even thought about before until she opened it. I was like, oh my God, because we were talking about Jawbreaker. And then her
Yes.
little sequenced A, because they wear that bib. So it's covered for most of that scene, anyways. So nothing I hadn't really noticed before, but, you know, little small things. Nothing that's too integral to the part or the plot or anything.
Let me see. There were a couple of things that I noticed, but then as like the night was going on, I forgot. There were a couple of times where that kid who plays Brandon,
Mm-hmm.
his hairstyle looked like there was a part of the film where they might have filmed it. Maybe they filmed all of the scenes the way they were supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
and they had just decided maybe his coverage, like what we have of Emma Stone is fine, but our cameras on you, not that great. We need to redo that. I feel like there's a couple of times where his haircut is inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only thing I picked up on. As far as loving it this time around, there were jokes that I've probably not watched this since I was 17. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching it since 12, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, but then I've took a minute from it. As an adult, you know, I've been to Costco how many times trying to save some money on gas. When she says that line about Costco jeans, or just even that, like, I even knew whenever he goes, God damn it, you're adopted. Who told you? Like, I got that when I was a child. Like, I kind of did. But, like, living in the world that I do now, it's like, that's so much funnier.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more appreciative. And you can tell that the dad is coming from a place of love, as opposed to if somebody was stupid or not paying attention to the movie, they could be offended by that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you're being offended, you're probably not paying attention. Because
Yeah.
there's like 100 other things to be mad about than this movie.
Mm-hmm.
My dad did that once. When I was younger, I saw Mean Girls for the first time. My Aunt Shannon showed it to me. And I had it on VHS. And I was watching it all day on like a day that I had a snow day or something. And I think I've mentioned my dad not being the nicest. He busts in my room and he's like, what the fuck are you watching, fucking talking about? Fucking and screwing and dick and this and that and the other and pussy and bitch and you're a hoe and she's a hoe and all of these girls and what are you fuck? He was like ripping my VCR out of the wall, like trying to this and that and the other. He was gonna fucking, he ejected it, was just trying to smash the tape, and I'm in tears and I'm like grabbing onto him. I'm a child and he's like I said, a military person.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep trying to tell him, like, that's my Aunt Shannon's tape. Don't break that. That's not mine. Don't break that VHS. That's not mine. And he just would not stop his rampage. And I think that he got a little bit emotional because I was his child. And I occurred to him and I grabbed him by his hands and I said, if you had just watched it, if you had just listened to what they were saying, if you only knew what was going on, you would not be reacting like this. You would not be upset. You would be so proud of me for understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that caught him off guard, that as like a 5-year-old, I was able to speak that intelligently. So he calmed down and he plugged the VCR back in and he looked at me and he said, if I find one thing about this movie that pisses me off, I'm going to spank you. I'm going to break this and you're going to go to bed. We put Mean Girls on and he's fucking less than 10 minutes into it. And he stops talking. His whole demeanor changes. He just eyes locked onto the screen. Doesn't say a word the rest of the movie. And the movie ends and I look at him and he gets up and he goes, well, I should probably get started on dinner. So maybe you should rewind that VHS and just watch it again until I have food ready. And Easy A is probably, he probably thinks about that when he watches Easy A because it didn't take him, he didn't have to learn anything. Because my dad grew up in a very hard time where men were not supposed to be okay with their emotions. Men weren't even supposed to treat women with respect. He learned with Mean Girls. So by the time that Easy A came around, he and I were anticipating it together. And the only reason we didn't go and see it in theaters were financial reasons. Like, we were all about this since the day it came out.
That's cute.
Thank
Sucks
you.
at first, you know, but
Well, he almost owed me that part. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, definitely.
Still grateful because I know we've talked about things or whatnot, but
At least he came.
um, I definitely have a mixed bag. I hope this is okay to say. I don't know. I hate when people are like, I hope this is okay to say, and then say it anyway. I'll never understand what you have went through, and I do love you, even though all of our things are all of the things. You know what I mean by that, like
Hmm.
whatever. We've talked so many times in personal messages. I love you so much. I want your relationship with your dad to be whatever it is and to love it for whatever it is. Um, and having someone that had a different experience, I hear your story and it makes me be able to love my dad. And I thank you for that because if I didn't know yours, I might have gone my whole life without understanding that. And I would have been robbed of that. And that would have been wrong of me to not give that to him. And you're absolutely right. If someone's here, you fucking make an effort for them. You fucking make that effort. But then there's the other part that's like, I don't know who your dad was. So if he was anything that it is to you, that's perfect. But all of that aside, no matter what your dad is or who he is, alive or not, I really hope you have never had to. And I'm so glad that you haven't. Like I said, I don't know if you did before, but maybe since, obviously you haven't. I don't know. I'm trying to be so careful about the thing. I would never wish the kind of abuse that I've had on. And that's what, like, even though Olive and Easy A went through different type of abuse from her peers and had her family, I was kind of the opposite where I had my peers, but I didn't have my family. The point is abuse is bad. And I would rather, knowing you and knowing how much you love your dad, I would rather you have the relationship you have with your dad now than to have you have a dad figure that was alive
Hmm.
that hurt the person that you are. Because Destiny, you are so beautiful and you are so smart and you are intelligent and you talk about things so correctly. I forgot that we weren't just FaceTiming for a second. Anyway, my point is you're all of those things and your dad is so proud of you. And I know that your story might be hard, but I really, really am glad that you having the story that you have your dad in one of the highest regards. And my dad can spend the rest of his life making up for what he's done and won't undig the hole that he's done. And I love him, and that's not me being too personal on him. I've stepped out of that. I'm thinking about an unbiased thing. Him as a person will have to face the higher powers about what he physically did. And really, really bad. I'm just saying, I'd rather you have the best possible thing limited because you still had him. I'd rather have the best possible thing limited than something that's 80 years of trauma because that is not fair to you. So if that means anything to you, I really hope you take anything that has to do with that topic so much more to heart now because believe you me, it's 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 so hard to fight with someone that you're supposed to love.
Yeah. He never abused me, but I did watch
I
it
can
happen.
I was gonna say I can tell from that sense and that is hard. But we can talk about that sometime if ever you don't want to be on public stuff.
Yeah. Never hurt me physically, but I did have to watch it.
And that can be different, but but you have a big heart and you talk about your dad so amazingly. And my dad is alive and I will probably never talk about him that way. And that's not on me. That's because I make the effort every day and he doesn't make it back to me.
Hmm.
And there's a part of me that goes, you know what? At least Destiny gets that little bit of love. So you do have a little. I'm just trying to let you know that there's a little bit of shininess in the situation you have. Like there's that little bit of love that you still have. So I really hope you see that
Yeah. I just
because
think
it's
about
untouchable
the good
almost.
things, the good memories that I had.
The good memories that you had I'll probably never experience as much as I try. I know it sounds so weird, but I promise. He's just not that way. He's so not that way. The military ruined him. They really ruined him. And
Mm-hmm.
so it just won't be that way ever. And I'm really glad you have that. Because anyway, this sounds like so weird and off topic, but we were on that topic because Olive has that relationship with her father, like how you know.
Yeah, I would grow up and watch it and be like, oh my God.
Yes.
I will never have that. Like, I will never experience that again.
Yeah.
No.
So this, so Brandon is saying, you're both so amazing. And then he says all of these hearts. Thank you. I know sometimes these topics are too weird for people or whatever, but that's the whole point of Easy A, is that it's emotions, it's real topics, it's real things, it's what real people are going through. And I learned things from Olive. I learned to love from Olive. I learned to have experience and perspective from her, you know?
Yes, definitely.
So if ever you were ready to say goodnight, I know it might be a little later there for you.
What time is it? Oh, yeah. Gotta hit the hay.
Yes. So not to end so abruptly, especially with hard topics or whatever, but like the point of the whole thing is just appreciation and family and growth. And that's exactly what Olive went through. Even her friend Ree, I remember saying I was so mad at her for kind of outcasting her friend. But even then she learned to come around. You as a person can watch that movie and go, you know what? I don't have to go what she went through. I don't have to outcast my friend and then learn to love them again. I can just support them the whole way through. So like, I just hope people take away all of the important shit, no matter how many vape pens we hit or how many drinks we have or how many jokes we make.
Yes.
I'm all like swaying around here like this. But yeah, that's all my things. That's all I have to say for the night. If ever, Destiny, you want to end with anything. What she meant by that is she loves the movie, she loves everything, and check her out on her next live stream.
I love the movie. I love Chase. I love being here. I love
Emma Stone.
I love Emma Stone. I love Penn Bagley. I'm just,
Yes.
I'm just here.
All right. Well, with all of that being said, I hope everyone has a great night. Check us out the next time that we do something else. Definitely follow Destiny. She does a lot of stuff all of the time. I'm going to try to get back on my regular rotation. Don't have faith in that too soon, but I will start to get there. Anyway, thank you guys for everything. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.